So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to a scene from Edessa, the Dark Crusade. So dark. But it is fucking nighttime, contrary to my pictures. And, delightful Mina here has decided, once she has gotten her face on for the night, that, things have been just so rough lately between her and her brother, and maybe she's thought of a little something to do, and, well, letting him know always cheers her up, and maybe he'll want to play along. Probably not. He doesn't really like playing in the dirt, as far as she can tell. Not as much as she does. But, there's always the off chance. Maybe he'll be just a little happier with her. Maybe let her ride without giving her a mountain of shit, if he's happier with her. So, yeah, she'll, get her face on and, make her little nightly rounds of this and that, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, as much as she would love to bring Alonzo along, Garnet is not as fond of Alonzo as she is, so she will be thoughtful for once. Take him out on a walkie and then leave him back at the gambling hall, back in their room, as it were, or at least in the office up with her, Stairguard Jr. Alonzo and Jr. can hang out. Quality time. Bonding. And she'll take herself off through the streets, heading out to the stables.
So the first person you see at the stables, as always, is Elena, who is doing her rounds. You often see Garen School pay the visit to the stables, probably just so she can be closer to him because he is, after all, senpai. But you don't see the man himself anywhere. You see Elena going into one of the back rooms, and you see a young man shoveling probably hay into various things, and seems to be just cleaning up, and he seems to be whistling small tunes, and he seems quite happy. You do actually recognize him as the person that Garnet uses as his messengers.
She will likely have made a point upon entering of, well, maybe not going directly to Elena in a rude and direct kind of way, because she can't remember whether Elena has seen this face or not, though she'll get tipped off sooner or later. But she'll make a point of asking after Garnet. And I imagine word passes, at the very least, to Elena and then in, if not to Elena in the first place. And so she'll wait and perhaps a little thoughtlessly just take up a comfortable lean against one of the walls by one of the stalls.
Yeah, Elena says Garnet's out in business. He'll be back in an hour usually. She kind of just shrugs, You get the impression Garnet didn't give too much details. As you lean against the post, Garnet, who during Mina is talking to Elena, activates his auspex and shovels more. And as Mina leans against the post, you hear, "Do you need assistance with anything?" You put the shovel over his shoulder in that defiant posture that you've seen before. Like, yeah, I'm the man in this piece.
She can't help but be entertained. So spunky. And she thinks about it for a moment, eyes narrowing thoughtfully. And we'll probably glance over and make sure her voice is pitched in such a way that Elena can hear. And actually, if she had a moment with Elena, would make sure Elena knew who she was. As if it wasn't something that Elena could probably guess at by now. But would have done that very, very quietly and offside to make sure that everyone's on the level.
And then it just gives you like a strange look. You figure she's probably going to ask about it later type of look. She just takes you at your word type of stare.
Yeah, it's fine. But, if it's going to be an hour, well, now that he asks, she might as well go for a ride. An hour's a nice long ride. So, she'll think about it a bit. And take a glance aside. Are any of the horses not put away for the night?
Well, usually I've only been working here about 2 or 3 weeks, so Usually they have a nighttime ride and stuff, but normally some really pretty ladies like to come over and talk to the boss, so he lets them out. So I suppose you're one of the pretty ladies.
She tries to decide whether to be annoyed or flattered. It's kind of a toss up, really. After all, how can she keep an eye on which pretty ladies are coming around when she's not allowed to hang out at the stables? Mm. And in fact, I will invite you to Peony if you like. Since it's something he would fucking look for. He's a dick.
Totally peony that shit straight away. Oh! Fucking
it's like 8 million successes, isn't it?
It's 5 successes.
He gets to watch the Jesus! Oh, you don't have a specialty, do you?
Not yet.
Oh,
soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Yeah, I mean, it's Garnet, and considering that there have been some slight changes to her features, like she doesn't look exactly like herself. There are some subtle changes. But all in all, it's still close enough with the sisterly resemblance that you can read her like a fucking book. And at the mention of all the pretty ladies who like to come around at night, he can see that little like murderous glint of, yeah, I bet they fucking do. It is a very subtle thing and something that I imagine she figures no kid's gonna pick up on. It's just he can practically hear the inner monologue going, yeah, sure, I bet. Those pretty ladies coming around at night.
It's the first thing
and then she will take on a more visible kind of flattered look when he assumes, of course, that she's one of the pretty ladies.
Got 3 successes. Garnet keeps relatively straight face because, to be honest, that would bring him like, whoa, jealous. But he gets 3 successes to keep his composure. He gave the game away too early.
Admittedly, she's not expecting to see anything. But yeah, it's there. He sees it just glance behind her eyes like, yeah, sure, fucking pretty ladies. That's fine. And then he's like, oh, well, you must be one of the pretty ladies. And she's like, oh, aren't you sweet? Like, you imagine the temptation to just reach out and pinch his fucking cheek is there, if only because it's Mina and everything at 11. She resists, however. I guess I am.
Right. And he'll just nod, and then she'll see a small curvature of a smile come up on his face. It's like a subtle one. It's nothing. It's not a Garnet smirk. It's just a small little one. That 3 successes prove how well he hides that fucking 6 smirk. Do you know, as he's walking, my mom looks at my dad that way sometimes, so I might be a bit bold, and before the master comes back, I could let you out on one of the horses.
That would be lovely. After all, I'll be waiting an hour anyways. Might as well have a bit of a ride.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
And she will be that pest, because fuck it. She's pretty sure that even if this was a subtle thing, he'd rat on her, but she'll still pass him a couple coins for the trouble, after all. Like, just when he has a moment, palms them to him and be like, there. That's essentially that's a good lad. There you go. Kind of thing.
He'll look down. All right, and I'm going to roll some shit.
It's not like straight up gold, but it's a couple coins. It's a handy little tip, especially her knowing and assuming that he doesn't know it's her, of course. The weird fucking, oh my god, Inception shit we've got going on there. For someone in the slums, it's a handy tip. For one of the stable hands, it's pretty standard.
He's going to roll some manipulation expression because Garret's a fucker. He's going to haggle, see if he can haggle. He gets 1 success. I'm not.
What are you rolling to haggle?
Manipulation expression. You got to roll. I thought expression would be a good one since he's trying to be a bit more posturous about it.
Okay.
And he'll puff his chest out, and he seems happy that he accepts something, but he puffs his chest out that spunky way. And Mina can tell with just 1 success, he's not as confident because he's so used to doing this in the streets as she met him before. I did get a new job, so it would be nice to actually bring some proper coin back. If it's You kind of lean in. It's kind of not how the bribes usually work around this area of town.
Is that so? She is very clearly entertained. She is not going out of the way to hide her expression. And while she's assuming that, again, this is Garnet reading it, not some random stable boy. So he sees that kind of glint of amusement. Really, is that so? Well, I guess I can't have you going hungry, can I?
I mean, as well, if the boss does ask, I can just make sure that it's nice and quiet for you. Since
Oh, can you?
Mm-hmm. I'm Lancelot the Brave, miss. That's my nickname.
Well, how about this? If you promise to keep it quiet and I get to ride that one, and she will point to her horse. How about this? And she will press a gold coin in his palm. Because fuck it. That's ridiculous, but she wants to see if it works or not.
She'll look up. Okay. Smile. Like he's like, you can tell, victory. Do you know what I mean? It's that one expression on his face. Victory.
Admittedly not in the way that she thinks it is, but it's funny. It's fucking goddamn the level of inception here. Because of course she figures she'll see whether or not Garnet hears about her riding her horse without him there. Meanwhile, it's fucking Garnet getting the God damn it. Yeah, so she decides that this is worth trying just to see what happens, and at worst, Garnet will be miffed at her for coming and taking her horse out. And she's down a gold. Woo.
You know what? I'm gonna have some more fun, Katie.
Are you?
Yeah. How's Mina feeling there, buddy? I'm looking for that.
Probably first and foremost entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Because her moods shift pretty fluidly. There might still be a lingering tinge of jealousy because it's pretty ladies. She'll cling on to that a little bit, but otherwise she's generally fairly just amused, entertained, kind of bored.
Remind me real quick for dementation level 1. Is it like a specific block I have to pick?
It's a specific group of emotions.
All right.
And you have to aim for something that's already in present.
Already in present. Well, seeing she's being a bit, entertained and adventurous, I'm going to aim for that set.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, so she is feeling quite ballsy. Thank you very much.
For a week.
Not very far from the norm. Ramped up a little bit is a little dangerous, but okay.
Yeah, he ramped it up and he'll just smile warmly. Have fun riding. Let's be our little secret.
Our little secret.
That's when the dementation hits then, just you know what I mean? Like a shotgun blast.
She suddenly feels so confident that this is going to go just fine, and she's going to have fun, and Garnet will never know, and everything will be perfect. So confident. You're an ass, but she's confident.
I didn't expect it to go that well. I was like, oh, okay. But yes, there you go. You are confidently riding on that horse, I'm assuming, yeah?
Which means, of course, that, yeah, fuck it. She doesn't care. And once she gets the horse out, and of course, the horse may not recognize her by sight or scent, but once she gets up there and starts riding, the way she sits is the same, the way that she cues is the same. And so she will, of course, mesh up with her horse very well and spend her hour hilariously, adventurously, doing her usual, after a couple little stunts to see if she still got her balance, still got everything right. Yeah. She ends up doing things like standing in the saddle while they're jumping, doing things, ridiculous acrobatics, hanging way off the saddle one way, dipping down enough to touch the ground as they're trotting around or running around the ring, and generally just has herself a good old time.
While she's doing that, and when she comes in, it'll be about the 45-minute mark. She'll
Yeah.
probably come in to get the horse and check it and all that. And the little kid, known as Lancelot the Brave, will walk up. Can I help you with your saddle? After all, I want to try out some new tricks, and I want to make sure that it's right for you. It's kind of hanging loose at the side.
She'll quirk a brow because, she checked the girth herself. It should be fitting just right, but she'll shrug and gesture because, I mean, it's one of the stable hands, and let's face it, Garnet has thoroughly broken her horse before he ever gave it to her. It's not like he's in any danger.
I need you to get off though, because I get a bit nervous. And looks down, rolls that manip sub.
You better roll that manip sub.
So fucking fast, I rolled that manip sub.
I should be rolling against you. Oh,
I fail.
Pulls off the most contrived bashful look.
It's not even bashful. You can tell he's trying to hide it, but he's not hiding it. He's actually trying to come across as bashful, but his expression is just too wild. If you get me. He's trying to play the shy game, but it's not working. You know what I mean? If anything, he comes across as very haughty looking. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, Mina, I'm assuming, is a lot prettier than she normally is.
I mean, she hasn't pumped her appearance, but she's definitely better groomed and better dressed than normal.
So Garnet's logic is if I play the shy game, she'll work. But in fact, it's probably looks the opposite. He looks quite haughty looking.
Like, hey.
Hey. Pretty much, yeah.
She is even more entertained by this and will swing a leg over and very fluidly dismount.
You turn. I think I heard Elena as well say the master's back if you want to check.
Is that so? Well then, I'll go talk to him. You have a good brush down. She'll reach over and, coax the horse's nose around, stroking its muzzle. Again, very familiar gestures from a strange person, so while the horse might normally react a little more vibrantly, let's face it, again, this one is very, very passive and very well handled. So it's just like, hey, this is a thing I like. So she'll stroke its muzzle, pat its neck a couple times, and go ahead and head off for the deeper parts of the stable, back into the actual rooms and whatnot.
And while Garnet is there, he subtly loosens the strap. Very subtly. And when Mina comes back, Mina doesn't find Garnet or Elena there. But she sees probably Elena walking actually down, probably gathering her cloak and walking off her stuff, and seems to be heading towards the city, probably doing some business. But no, when she enters the stable, she finds that Garnet is not there.
Yeah, she'll take a proper glance around, probably dip back into the actual office and whatnot. And when she doesn't find him, take on a something of a perplexed look and slip back around to see if she can you know what? She's curious. Why would the kid lie to her? While she's back in the now empty office, we'll take a moment to obfuscate properly, sound and sight, as it were, and then we'll just slip out and slip back around and again, just kind of pop herself into the entrance of the aisle and look to see what this kid is doing with her horse.
Would she have seen that?
I mean, if he's loosening the girth while she's walking away, she would have missed that entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's definitely he missed it. And she'll see him tie the horse back to the pole, pat it, and like touch its forehead, and smile at it, and we'll walk and start shoveling, looking over his shoulder every now and again. And if she wants to get up right close and personal, she can, Katie. Because guess whose auspex is on and he can see you.
Now, for the moment, she's going to hang out right at the mouth of the aisle and see if he does anything else sus, because she can't fathom why he would lie to her about Garnet being back when he's not. So she just hangs out there at the end of the aisle, waiting for either Garnet to come back or this kid to do something else.
No, kid shovels and shovels, and then picks up the thing that's out of and puts the thing over his shoulder and starts to walk to the innards of the stables, whistling.
Oh, and he doesn't even put up the horse properly.
Curiously, though, Mina, he does go right by you. Like, if he got any closer, he would have brushed off you.
She'll shift her weight ever so slightly to make absolutely sure she's out of brush range.
And roll me perception alertness.
I will.
As he looks over to his side as he's walking. Because this is about to spook her the fuck out.
That is 3 successes.
The way he looked, it is almost like he is looking right at you. But can you be sure? I'll roll some manip sub as well to make this extra fair. Because I am nice. I'm lovely. You'll give out to me if I don't.
Yes, I will.
Ooh,
oh no, he looks right the fuck at her, doesn't he?
Yep. I got 1 success though, but
well, this is true, but I've still got more than you do.
Yeah, he looks right the fuck at you. Like his eyes almost like pierce into yours.
Don't you have to make a roll to like see through someone's aspects?
Obfuscate.
Or someone's obfuscate, even if your aspects is higher? I don't think it's automatic.
Let me find obfuscate. Obfuscate 3.
It's in the house rules, I think, or actually it may just be in the rules.
That is not obfuscate. Dementation. I think it is. Let me just double check as well in the Edessa forums if there's stuff there too. Because it doesn't say there either. Where are we? Obfuscate. Detecting disciplines. No. No, it doesn't say anything about obfuscate 3.
I mean, right now it's 2 and 1. That she's using.
I would say roll. Yeah, I could say. Hang on now. The way I would do it is because you've got thingy active. I would say make another perception and alertness roll, and you can use your aspects on this because it's something obvious. That's what I would say.
Does he automatically detect her obfuscation with his aspects active, or does he have to roll to detect it? That's the question.
That is the question. Designed to avoid detection. I think it's, from what I remember, isn't it because my aspects is higher than yours?
Damn it. Hold on a second. My shit's freaking out. Alright. Obfuscated target and the aspects user compare total levels. If the aspects user's higher levels and aspects exceed the obfuscate, the aspects user rolls perception awareness.
Okay.
Difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. Perception awareness. That is, how much is that for Garnet again? Yes.
Lower this difficulty by 1 for every dot in aspects you have in excess.
I have 4 dots of aspects.
So it's diff 7 for you. And actually, I guess this aspects. I mean, you also have your aspects active, which I don't know if that actually affects.
It doesn't apply for awareness rolls. I don't think.
Okay, so
I got 3 successes anyway. 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely see her. I just wanted to make sure we did it legit and knew how to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely sees her, and she sees him look at her, and he'll see her react. Her brows kind of pinch. She doesn't twitch away because he's not doing anything, but she definitely studies him really hard as he walks past. And
he doesn't walk past, he stops.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he kind of whisked past just barely short of touching.
Whisked past and then stops and turning. Because I didn't finish all of my sentence.
Oh, well. She's studying the fuck out of him intently.
Puts the thing over his shoulder. I'm going to roll some manipulation subterfuge, yes. Because Garnet is playing so many games today. Oh, oh,
You are just short of
oh.
that being a botch, buddy.
This is even better because this is more of I was waiting for this reveal. It is that smile, Katie, that is the dead giveaway. See that picture? Yeah, that smile.
Like right at her.
Right at her. And he takes the coin out and flicks it and catches it.
And she doesn't even think about it. Admittedly, she's got the first obfuscate up as well, so he won't hear anything. Or I guess maybe he would. She's just like, you bastard.
After all, Mina. Flick, catch. I did tell you to always mind your surroundings, didn't I? Flick, catch.
She finally rolls her eyes and tries to play it off. She's obviously annoyed, but rolls her eyes and turns, spins right on her heel to go back into the back rooms. He can still put the horse away because he's an asshole.
But didn't you want to ride on your horse, Mina, darling?
Does he just drop his obfuscate?
The moment she turns away, gone. And it's all she hears is that silky. Didn't you want to ride your horse, darling?
Like, as in he's obfuscating, or as
No.
in
Gone. I mean, gone. The obfuscate's gone, and his voice.
okay.
Yeah.
I did ride my horse.
But you're not finished, if I recall. There's another few minutes left. And he looks up at the sky. You've got another 15 minutes. And after all, Sir Lancelot was a generous little host, wasn't he?
Wasn't the point to spend the time until you got back, brother dear?
Well, I don't mind you riding for another little bit. After all, it's your favorite horse.
She is going to peony the shit out of him.
Roll them and it's so good to me.
She is looking at him so hard, and she's activating Auspex for it too, because you're an asshole.
Fail. He has too much of a wicked smile on his face. Don't even have to roll. I fail. That smile is too wicked, Katie. It's just so devious.
Are you not done playing games yet, brother dear?
Why would I play games with my darling sister?
There's no knowing, is there? But if I knew everything, wouldn't it kill the mystique?
I do know one thing, though. He's grinning as he's walking back towards the horses. Looking at her like she's probably going to follow.
Oh, she does, and she drops all of her obfuscate as well. Well, not the face, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, what?
Not the face, but the first and second level of obfuscate, because there's no one else there to see it, or he wouldn't have dropped his face.
I didn't realize you were so jealous, darling.
There's just that vicious little glint as she's gonna start rolling manipulation subterfuge too to play this game.
Yeah, I have my aspects active in you.
You asshole!
It produces a ridiculous number of aspects. Oh Jesus!
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's I have a shitload of reduction, so yeah.
And I assume the minimum's still 3, but that's still like all but 1. That's still 6 successes to her 4. He sees that vicious little glint behind her eyes. I don't know what you mean.
He'll walk up, hands behind his back, goes up right to her face and looks down at her. So literally, they're close to mouth to mouth. I do love when you get jealous sometimes, darling. So entertaining.
And she will just, to be impertinent, will shift her head the slightest bit. Just so there's the briefest, like, nose-to-nose brush. Like, eh. Do you? I seem to remember you getting quite tired of it.
Depends. Depends on the level of jealousy. Do you not think you're pretty, Mina?
The eyes narrow the slightest bit.
Does Johanna's dress make you feel pretty?
And what if it does?
Oh. Do you need a dress to make yourself feel pretty and beautiful?
It's a nice change of pace.
Is that what it is? What's your willpower, Katie?
Oh, why are you this way?
Because I'm hype.
Why are you the way that you are?
It's willpower, son.
A 5.
K. Rolling that intelligent subterfuge.
What are you doing?
Prospects. 4. 3 successes. Actually, no, 4 successes. So, hey, Katie. Hey. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Would you like a random thought in your head?
I mean, do I get a choice?
No. Maybe it's because you're so fragile. That'll be what goes into her head. Just like an ever so soft voice.
Her dander is officially up. You made her hype and now you're making her uncomfortable.
Really? Oh. Katie, I'm gonna have some more fun. Because Garnet's not through with you just yet, Mina. After all, you caused him so much hassle. And this is the final bit of playing he will do. Your road score 6. This many dice. 1, 2, 3. So, that uncomfortable feeling, I'm going to target that and the emotions surrounding it. And let's just say, whoop, turn the scale.
Now they're both inflamed. Great.
I think one cancels out the other, so now effectively, like, yeah.
I hope so.
It does, yeah, from what I remember.
Otherwise, she's about to have an interesting. How long is it for 3?
1 night. Just for the night.
Fabulous. So the emotions that the thought provokes are immediately heightened.
And
meaning that she actually recoils a bit, finally.
And he will activate his demonstration by just saying this. Once the thought goes in, and he'll smile and then lean in. That's good that Johanna makes you feel so pretty. Wow.
Yeah, she actually, and she's usually so stubborn about giving ground, but she actually gives ground like a step. Just shifts 1 foot from in front of her to behind her, leaning back the slightest bit. I thought I was going to bring you some fun. Or at least let you know what I was up to, but you're being mean.
You always bring me fun, darling, as he's walking back towards her horse. What is it that you want to tell me?
She's adopting something of a pout, and not hanging out nearly so close as she might normally try to. Just that extra little step away speaks volumes, really. And she'll come around to the other side of the horse, idly stroking the side of its neck. Thought I'd go have some fun. Maybe
fun.
Maybe deal with a bit of a problem at the same time.
I see, and you want me to know why?
Well, you do like to know things, and knowing how a whole hamlet was suddenly stricken with plague.
I see.
Seems like quite the thing to know.
And how do you intend to know or do that?
Alonso's already trained to herd rats, even into crates. We've usually picked out one at a time, but it shouldn't be hard to take swarms.
And where do you intend to do it, Mina?
Oh, those hunters have been such pests, coming into my home.
And you're going to sneak in, are you?
In? No. I don't need to get in. I just need to release rats close enough. I work the land.
I see. Oh, Mina. It's no fun.
Is it not?
They'll drive them away quickly. You see, if you want to infect a town, well, I shouldn't be telling you this. After all, if you're so set on doing it on your own.
Oh, do you want to come along and play with rats? I thought you preferred horses.
Leans in. Do you want me to come along? Because after all, from what the sounds of it are, you really don't know how to really spread the fear.
Oh, I know how, but I know what happens when you go inside.
But you're not looking at the right place. Outside the city is smart, but you're not. You're thinking the rats will just rush in.
And
Mina,
enough
Mina, Mina.
volume.
Mina. Darling.
Would you like to draw attention by throwing them over the walls?
Darling.
And she's obviously still off center, thanks to him fucking with her head a bit. She's still giving ground just that touch more than normal.
Well, if you don't want to know, I know how to surpass their walls, surpass the town. It's quite simple, really, how you mess with something. Just the subtlest thing. But, you know, oh well.
Well, if
If
you
you
know
don't,
so much more about rats than I do,
if you
please,
don't,
dear brother.
if you don't want me to come along, my advice, unfortunately, is not available.
Well, that's not very nice. Offering something then taking it away.
I mean, it's only fair. After all, you've been so troublesome for me. I've had to
I
make
was
many
trying to
things.
be nice.
So that's a yes, then you wish for me to join in.
If you'd like to.
And what is in it for me, Mina?
I think I already owe you plenty. If it is
Hmm.
something that's out of your way, I wouldn't want to. And she reaches out and kind of, just plucks at his sleeve a little, pulls it just a little bit more right on his arm. Wouldn't want to inconvenience you, brother darling.
Hmm. That was a very poor explanation, darling. Sell it to me, Mina. Make it worth my time, because I have already a solution that would be the most chaotic that you've seen. And if you haven't thought of that, I'm surprised. Because all these things are human, are they not? Most of them, anyway.
Most of them.
Oh, Mina, so close.
They'll follow the waterways in.
And if I do help, how do you poison a town? What do humans drink? Do they need? What is the giver of life?
Should you like me to drown them in the water? I'm not sure I can get to the well without going inside.
Where does a well draw from?
I didn't exactly scout around or linger around to see if there was a stream or river running through. Brother
That's what you
dear.
should have found out, darling. That's what we'll find out. You don't drown them in the water, you cut them open and let them rot there. Slowly it'll infect the riverbed. Let it bleed into the river. So the very
Rivers are
thing
running water, brother. It'll just carry the toxics away.
to the one in the town where the well is.
And she turns around and finally, she's obviously, again, because you've got aspects on, so she can't put up with so much of a facade, and she's already uncomfortable. So she turns around and again, kind of straightening his shirt, getting as an excuse to get closer, though not with the usual kind of confident air she might normally put on. Why don't you try your way and I'll try mine and we'll see which works better.
Or how about we do both together? Why does it always have to be a competition with you, darling? Why are you so insistent of competition with me?
And she
After
does a
all,
faint pout.
After all I've done for you.
I thought you'd appreciate the game.
Why not make the game more interesting by having both? Send the rats far enough they'll be running and screaming dealing with them, and poison the riverbed while they're screaming trying to deal with the rats.
As long as it's not too many at a time, rats are, well, common enough issue. And it's not as if these look any different than any other.
Precisely. You hit them from a two-pronged front. That way, they might kill the rats, but the plague will still spread. That is how you get it completely in. So it festers. Do both, my darling. That way, and you reach down and plant a kiss on her cheek. Chaos is complete and encircling. Now, isn't that much more fun? For them to realize that they don't even know where it's coming from. And they get more and more scared.
I mean, by now he's practically talking dirty, so she'll slowly become more and more at ease, regardless of that just clinging thought in the back of her head.
Doesn't that not sound more appealing to you?
Your thoughts are always appealing to me.
Well then, I'll bring Elena along. Make sure we have at least something to cover us.
Oh?
Elena is reliable, and she knows her way around and can handle herself. I'd rather have her there just to make sure.
Do be careful, brother darling. They've already seen me there once and followed me home. I plan to wear a different face. You should do the same. She can't change hers.
But she can disguise what she looks like, not necessarily change her face.
True enough.
They don't have to see her face, after all. Do they?
Best case scenario, they won't see us at all.
True. I'd rather have her there as a way of means of getting us out if the situation gets hairy, perhaps in the distance.
Perhaps. And here I thought I was going to just have a night out with you to myself.
She won't be joining us in doing it, she'll just be at a distance. Make sure that we have a way to escape.
A pointed glance is given offside to the numerous stalls they're surrounded by. Her eyebrows kind of pop up the tiniest bit.
She'll be waiting with the horses. I don't want to take them too close. They leave a trail.
And what more do you need as a way out?
Let's just say if we need to get loud, Olena can handle herself. Like I said, I'd rather have her somewhere close by, but not with us. But close by.
My men are still recovering.
Precisely. And besides, if we do have any followers, we can always lead them back to her, can't we?
I suppose we can.
She'll smile and it'll go wicked. And after all, if we take one alive, and if it does follow us back.
Oh, what fun that would be.
See how I always make sure everything is aligned?
You've had more practice than me. It's not fair. You're better at this game.
No, changing our faces makes sense, and we'll have to be careful. Unleashing the rats will be difficult. And if we can find the water supply, the river leading into it, we will do it as well. But the unleashing the rats is a good idea. We just want to make sure all our bases are covered.
Of course. Just be careful. I'm sure there's more than one soft-hearted Canite in this city who wouldn't approve. Hopefully they'll think the migration natural.
Do you actually think I would tell anybody of my schemes?
But would you tell mine?
Smile. Not when they're tied to me. And it depends on who I tell. Do you think I'd tell Johanna what we're doing?
She puts on a bit of a pout. Gets just a touch closer. I don't know. Do you think telling her would mean you could see her fine hair again?
I've already seen it.
That's why I said again, Brother Dear.
I don't need to tell any schemes to get Johanna to show me the things she hides. I don't need that for anything involving Johanna. In fact, Johanna already thinks she knows me so well.
And it could be taken as a passing thing, except it's not some habit of Mina's especially. And she reaches up and is like, really? And just very gingerly tucks a bit of his hair behind his ear. Like, I know what you're doing, essentially.
Oh, did you not realize, my darling? After all, it's so easy and so presumptuous to claim to know madness.
It's always easy to assume, isn't it?
Precisely. It's just so easy. After all, who would believe us? We're just insane. We're going to need to meet with the Primogen soon, Mina.
If you can fish him out of wherever he's holed himself up.
We're going to take on a more aggressive strategy.
Are we?
Yes, we are. There are big things in line for us, for the clan.
Is that so? And
I'm
what's
making
that?
sure of it. He'll smile. Now that would be telling. Not yet. Not till I know the plan is solid and it will come through. But for now, Mina, I need Bella to play nice with me.
Bella.
I need all of the Malkavians to play nice with me.
Bella's easy.
Good. How about we shackle her then?
Your head tips the faintest bit.
A slave to her emotions. A slave to her desires, her memories. Does that sound like something you want to perforate around?
And she takes up kind of a thoughtful expression, eyes narrowing just the slightest bit. I assume you mean to you.
To both of us, this is a lesson for you as well. Two cups. Interchanged. All you need to do is just drink a drop.
And as much as she drinks, you don't think she will tell?
Not if she's lost in her memory. She won't.
Oh, she doesn't drink then. She sobs.
And that's why we're going to give her a nice warm drink afterwards. Because drinking makes it go away, doesn't it? Like I said, 2 cups.
Mm.
Or if you have a better idea.
And she takes up a markedly thoughtful expression. Even in the grips, what she thinks she sees. I don't know that I could get mine to her without her noticing. And with the way she drinks, she's sure to be able to tell a difference in taste.
So how best to shackle the thing we need to us? Mina, darling. And after all, we'll lean in. I'm sure this will be our little secret, wouldn't it?
And oh, the playful expression on her face. Not vicious, just playful. Because let's face it, this is the first time Garnet's let her in on his games in a while.
Or do you wish for Clan Malkavian to be reminded of what it is, and do you wish for them to embarrass us further? Is that what you want, Mina?
I might have said that I don't need shackles to control her, but you have a point, brother.
They have to learn, Mina.
I don't know that they can.
Well, then we'll
We can
make...
try.
No. No trying. He puts a finger on her lips. We make them learn.
Hmm.
And think of all the power you'll have. Just for you.
To say that there's a look of some level of mild satisfaction at the very idea, it's probably selling it a little short.
Oh, really? Katie? Oh, really? Satisfaction, eh?
I mean, he's essentially like this is practically talking dirty again.
Well, Katie, I'm about to do something again, because Garnet sells his points higher, goddammit.
Oh, he does.
2 successes. That feeling of satisfaction in the associated area. Yeah. Whoop! Especially, and it's up for an hour now. I got 2 successes. And he leans right in, even rubbing his, kind of coming in close to her shoulder, and he'll brush along with the tip of his mouth along her shoulder, so she can feel that fake breath of his, because he has bush felt. And isn't that what you want most of all? That power. That's when the dementation hits.
To say she gets a little heated is again selling it decidedly short. She is decidedly responsive. He even gets the theatrical little gasp of "Oh my!" essentially, leaning in like that.
And your willpower is 5, yes?
Yep.
Go.
Jesus Christ, what have you done?
That Auspex secrets again, and that thought invade the mind. And it just goes right into her head with 5. And wouldn't you like to share power with him just this once, so he might see you as an equal?
You know, that touch of reservation he'd put in her before, and some of the doubt, that has been completely shattered. So, all things considered, with him teasing the hell out of her, he'll find that she has latched onto his tunic and is just suddenly ever so close. He's already leaned down practically on top of her, but she's pressing right up against him by that point.
Well, what do you say, Mina? Do you agree to make the Malkavians listen to us, to hear the song properly, even if they need to be shackled to hear it?
How could I want anything else?
Do be careful. After all, we wouldn't want the game spoiled now, would we?
No. I should like to be the last one to spoil the game.
Wonderful, darling. I'm glad you agreed. He plants the most delicate of kisses right on her lips as he pulls away. Then, before she can even hungrily chase, he just steps back, gliding away.
Oh, he's mean. Yeah, it puts her wits a bit off the kiss, because let's face it, she hasn't gotten much affectionate interaction with Garnet in a while. And by the time she gets her wits back together, he has gotten out of her reach. And she will nip sub real hard. Try so hard. I don't think I have any merits for this. I haven't looked at ages. Nope.
Holy fuck.
I don't even like you. I don't even know why I'm rolling. Nope. No, she's totally fine and totally in control and not even remotely considering whether or not she can get to him and tear his clothes off. That would be wrong and inappropriate.
You lazily look over, that casual appearance for, subtlety, yes, I am that fucking good-looking glance. Tell Gregory I need to see him soon. He does owe me.
And she gives him a bit of it's that little glance up through the lashes type thing. I'm not looking. I'm definitely looking. Fine.
I do like your hair like that, Mina. Although I do miss the wild curls. So ferocious. Such a shame.
She adopts a bit of a sulk, actually kind of plucking a bit of the hair in front of her shoulder, glancing at it.
You know what? Garrett's going to be a further asshole, Katie. I'm hamming it up today how much of an asshole he is. I'm going to roll that appearance subterfuge. Oh, he's 3 successes. I do like the wild look on women. After all, it's very exciting.
Oh, her sulk could not get any worse.
He smiles that seductive smile, all that appearance for Katie, all of it, right in your face.
You're a terrible person.
What?
Poor Mina. All wound up. And he's out of reach.
He'll smile. Now, don't you wish to go on your horse one last time?
Hold on, let me think about all the things I've been hit with in the last couple minutes. Yep, that's my life. Okay. And she's looking kind of forlornly at some of the just so straight blonde hair. It works nice for what she's trying to pull off as a as a general look, but it is so boring. And so as she's looking down at that bit of her hair, almost as if she's disappointed with it, she's just off at the cuff comments because it's Mina and she doesn't really restrain her inner monologue in the least. You know, there are better things to ride than horses. Just so forlornly.
He'll just smile. I do like watching you let cut loose on it, though. It is quite something. Perhaps when you're obviously in better moods with me, we might do something else. But you haven't ridden and let me watch you in a long time.
There's, again, the kind of side glance up through the lashes. You do like to watch. Fine.
You just smile, walk over, lean down, and just brush away. Just passes right by, like it skims by her nose or lips, and he just keeps walking.
Oh, he's so mean. So mean. Yep, she has a moment of you know, Mina.exe has crashed, rebooting. Okay. I was gonna ride the horse. Yep, riding the horse. And she'll come around and seeing as admittedly it was Garnet pointed out that the girth looked loose. She'll come around and sulkily come around beside the horse to mount on the proper side and take a moment to tug on the girth, stick her hand under it. As one does. And I imagine, in fact, find it loose.
Is she getting up on it, or does she pull it?
Oh, she'll actually check it first, since it was pointed out that it looked loose before.
It's not on the loop. Well, yeah, actually, it would be loose if she checks both sides. Yeah, it's loose.
I mean, it's the overall tension between it and the saddle. So regardless of which side has been let down, if it's loose, it is loose. And she'll admittedly go and kind of casually check it, like, well, he did point it out earlier. Oh shit! Oh! There's like a comical pause as she finds it loose, and her brow knits in the how the hell did I survive this? Like, kind of shocked. And yeah, she's actually taken somewhat aback because a loose girth usually means that the saddle can start sliding to one side or the other. And considering what she was up to, oh dear. So she'll take a moment and tighten the girth again. And kind of look at it accusingly, because how the fuck?
He just lays against the wall, watching, smirking.
Yeah, she's puzzled, but so be it. It was loose. He was right. She'll go ahead and... admittedly, the bridle should be fine. The girth is the real thing. So once she's sure that's good, and she'll check the stirrups to make sure the straps are secure. Now that she's found one thing wrong. And we'll eventually heave herself up.
Yeah, I think that's probably the perfect way to end it, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, she heaves herself up and looks at her and goes, 15 minutes. Might as well make it a good 15 minutes. And smile devilishly and go ahead and kick the horse into motion. And yes, with an eerie bit of riding and watching, I suppose we can call it good. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we will see you next time in Edessa, the Dark Crusade.